Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. It's your girl Mayra, aka Mujer Divina, with your girl Miss Neeks.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about our emotion.
Emotional mood swings. Mood swings, different challenges we have as women and women mental health.
Yes.
So, you
So,
want
one thing I want to touch on today is basically the different emotions that we go throughout the year, really, especially when we hit that time of
to?
month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you a thing or two. It's
Yeah.
weird too because it's not just so. It's like you know when it's coming, right?
Yes.
Because you have your calendar marked. For those who are irregular, you don't know when it's
Yeah,
coming,
you
but
just
you can tell when like the week before you're like,
you start getting those symptoms, and
yeah.
like your emotion starts going up and down. All of a sudden, you're crying because you saw a baby walking. Come on.
So that's the thing too. That's like me where I'm like I'm so like you don't even realize you're super emotional until like maybe 2 days in. You're
Yeah.
like, why is everything bothering me all of a sudden? You're always irritated,
Mhm.
or the least little thing can get you to break down and start crying.
Yep.
Like something that usually wouldn't
Yeah.
bother you, and then you're like, you check the calendar, and you're like, yeah,
No, that's what it
yeah,
was.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's about to be that time of the month,
Or,
and yeah.
yeah, or even like just seeing your body change during this time can be very challenging.
Yes.
It's very challenging. It's just like all of a sudden you start looking at your body and you're like, where did this come from?
Do you
Why?
get bloated too? Like
Yeah,
super
super
bloated?
bloated.
I'm that.
And
That's me.
yeah,
That is
I
me.
retain water and I look fluffy.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
me.
I just started. It's like a mixture of that, like my body changing, and then all the emotions start kicking in all together. It's just not.
It's
It's
not a
not
good
great. Yeah.
combination. Yeah, and before I used to struggle with it a lot
Mhm.
because um you want to see yourself a certain way. You strive, especially we work out all the time.
Yeah.
So you work so hard to have this body, right? And then your cycle starts and it's like doing all these weird things to your
Mhm.
body.
Yeah.
I will say though that I have noticed when I'm like super clean and like on a regimen, like
Mhm.
it's not as bad,
Yeah.
but that's not something that I can maintain throughout the year.
Yeah.
So when I do indulge from time to time, it's like I look pregnant,
Mhm.
but you know you're not because
Yeah.
you're on your cycle. So it's like,
It's like what I used to fit into these jeans.
yeah.
What's going on? What's going on now? Yeah, it's definitely challenging. It is challenging just going through that, but yeah, it's not something that you're going through by yourself. We all go through it.
Yeah.
So.
Everybody experiences it differently.
Mhm.
So it's obviously it's not one size fits all, and sometimes we can't all relate, but you're not the only one that's experiencing these changes. And when we say you're not alone, we really do mean that.
Mhm.
You don't think anybody understands. We all don't think anybody understands. So um, just know that it's somewhat normal, and if you don't think it's normal, you should reach out to your doctor.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. It's like one of those things. I used to look at these fit females and be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
they look like that all year long, all month long, right? But then once you actually talk to all these females that you look up to, right? They're all going through the
Yep. They're
same
all going through,
thing.
and
They
you
all,
realize they just posted a video from like when they were really fit and shredded.
yeah,
Like there's like workouts that they didn't post back when
yeah,
they were prepping for a show,
yeah,
and they posted 3 months later, and then that's when you realize like, oh, it's all an illusion.
yes, it
It's all
is.
an illusion on the internet. But
Yes, it is.
yeah, don't fall into the trap of the internet. All
Don't.
right, it's
Mm-mm.
like, yep. And with that being said, that also takes a toll on your mental health.
It does.
So we're looking at all these glitz and glams, and I'm glad there's a lot of people now that are fighting the stereotype and fighting the what is thought to be the norm because
Yeah.
it's glamorized. But everything we see on the internet,
It's
it
not
paints
real.
this narrative, and it's not always real. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say it's not real because
There are some people
there
that are
are some
very
people.
transparent with how they actually look on a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
But a lot of this time, a lot of people on social media, they put up what they want you to see, what's gonna bring them following. You know, it's not always actually like that. They only post the 3 good weeks of the month, but that one last week where they're feeling bloated and like just don't feel like themselves. Obviously, they're not gonna post it because it's not gonna add following to their Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. You know, it's just not going to. And then also, just like a lot of people on PEDs, right, and claiming to be natural athletes. There's a lot of people like that, and it's just that's why it's really bad for you to like follow what you think is inspiration on social media, because you just don't know who's actually being honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, there's nothing I can say to top that, because that's true. Like we've been saying, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. And there are people that are on performance enhancing drugs and claiming to be natural.
Yeah.
Even if they aren't anymore, like they got that boost to give them the physique, give them the look. Or there is this, there's quite a few actually I'm following right now. You know, they're like, do this glute workout and build your glutes. And I'm like, I know you did surgery though. Like,
yeah.
And there's people that they do that too, where they're getting these makeovers and then they're going to the gym and they're creating
and promoting
these and
this
promoting
athletic
yeah. So
page.
At the end of the day, if you do strive to have a certain physique or have a certain look, you should be true to yourself and say, this is what I want to look like for me, not because of what you see and think is normal. Because at the end of the day, you don't know how somebody else got their physique, right? It's a lot of hard work that goes into building your body the way you want your body.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be based off of what you've seen or what you think you want based off of somebody else.
Yeah, it should be based on your own body and your own growth.
Because that will take a toll. Like, you're going to end up feeling disappointed, and it will take a toll on your mental health because you're not seeing the results that you think you should be getting. But in reality, it's not realistic.
Or even if it is, sometimes it's genetics.
Yep, genetics.
Genetics plays a big role into.
Yeah. So you having that mental fortitude too, to understand, like, my body is my body, and the way I build it, I should be proud of everything that I'm doing. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to harp on don't fall into the trap of the internet and self-love and all of that. But in order to better be able to manage your mental health, it's like you have to do an internal assessment. There are things you might not like about yourself. You should look at, is it because of how society makes me feel, or do I genuinely not like these things about myself because it's not doing me any benefit, because we're so harsh on ourselves sometimes, and we don't realize it until we like do an internal audit and realize, oh man, I've been kicking butt all freaking year, but I never took the time to really look at it and be like, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
You're always like striving to do or be better, and you never really like look back and be like, oh, I did all these things.
Yeah, so definitely be proud of yourself and your hard work. Whether it is with like working out and fitness or just work in general, right? Or like your personal life, any goals that you set for yourself, just be proud of every step that you take. Because there's people that are not even taking a first step, a second step. It's just, they don't even want to try to have a better life, a better mental health. And the fact that you want to better yourself and better your mental health, I mean, that's something to be proud of.
Yep, that's definitely something.
Always find the good in everything.
Yep. Ask for help. Do you think it's harder for women to ask for help because, I don't know, for whatever reason, do you think it's harder for women to ask for help when they're
I don't think so. I don't think it's harder. I think it all comes down to stubbornness. It's like a lot of people as a whole are stubborn and don't want to ask for help because they think it's weak. But I think it's strong because you're like owning up to what you're struggling with, and it's just like, just ask for help.
That's true. A lot of growing up, it's like you've been ingrained to figure things out on your own, depending on your background, of course.
Yeah.
So you're right. I don't think it's necessary that it's harder. It might be just the upbringing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen as weak, or you've always been taught figure it out on your own. So
Yeah.
okay, I could see that.
Well, that was it for today's talk. We love you from my family to yours.
Have a great week. Have a productive week. Thank you for joining us on this talk.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching our videos. If you have any questions about the topic that was discussed today, or you have topic suggestions, don't be shy. Comment down below. Let us know.